Role-playing games. Basically, role-play game is a kind of game in which each participant assumes the role of a character, generally in a fantasy or science fiction. For example, games like Dungeons and Dragons, BattleTech and Star Wars were all popular examples of the genre of online role-playing games. A role-playing game is, at its most basic, a grown-up version of make-believe. A role-playing game can be a simple conversation between two people who each pretend that they are someone else. On the other hand, a role-playing game can include complex rules with many source books, pencils, character sheets, dice, and miniatures. Some people enjoy live-action role-playing games, or in which they might dress up as their character and act out the actions they perform. No matter what form it takes, a role-playing game can be a fun, entertaining way to spend time with friends. Sports games. A sports game is a computer or video game that simulates the playing of traditional sports. They are extremely popular, the genre including some of the best-selling games. Example of sport games: cricket, ice hockey, basketball, football, boxing, and much more. A number of game series features the names and characterism of real teams and players, and are updated to reflect real-world changes. Combat games. A combat game is a fighting genre of video game that emphasizes one or more combat between players, or between a character controlled by a player and one controlled by the game's AI. Example: Battlefield, 3-Foot Ninja, and Airwolf. Adventure game. An adventure game is a video game in which the player assumes the role is an interactive story that is driven by exploring. They are games focusing on puzzle solving within a narrative framework. Example: Time Management, Kenny's Adventures. Adventure games always require exploring to some degree, depending on the type of interface. In early text-driven adventures, the player has to navigate by typing in directions such as "go north." Modern point-and-click adventures providing amazement to find hotspots, objects that can be looked up or manipulated. Education game. Educational games are games that have been just designed to teach people about a certain subject, expand concepts, reinforce development, understand an historical event or culture, or assist them in learning a skill as they play. They include board, card, and video games. Action game. Action game is a game which is played in real life time and reflects and coordination are stresses as skills, overthinking, and planning. It simulates exciting or violent action, especially shooting. Examples: a video game genre that emphasizes physical challenges, including hand-eye coordination and reaction time. Simulation game. Games which try to accurately depict real-world situations, physics, and events as accurately as possible. Example: simulation or various activities or real life in the form of a game for various purposes, training, analyzing, or predictions. Well-known examples are war games, business games, and role-playing games such as Sims 2. Online game. An online game is a game played over some forms of computer network. At the present time, almost always means the internet or equivalent technologies, but games have always used whatever technologies was current. Moderns before the internet and hardwired terminals before moderns. Puzzle games. Puzzle is the pieces of items you can put together and you can create images. Puzzle is good for children. It helps you concentrate and create different images. Platform game. Platform is a kind of video game in which the characters go along horizontal surfaces, climb and jump, and otherwise move from surface to surface, collecting items and defeating enemies. Stealth shooting games. Stealth game is a video game genre that booty the player for using stealth to overcome fear. Games in the genre typically allow the player to remain undetected by hiding using disguises and/or avoiding noise. There are usually multiple ways to achieve a goal with different pathways or styles of play. Some games offer a choice between killing and merely knocking out an enemy.